What's up? This is DJ Too Wild. To the right of me, DJ Wild Boy.
What up, what up?
We have Miss Manners in studio. And we have a very special guest who's about to sit down, about to join in right now. Teddy Roxpin. What's up, Teddy?
What's going on, guys?
23-year-old Boston producer, fellow Austin native. Welcome you to the show, College Blueprint. What's up?
Thanks, man. Glad to be here.
Now, Teddy, you've worked with a lot of big, a lot of big artists. What's the latest project going on right now for you?
The latest project, I guess, would be my EP with Stu Cat.
Okay.
We've been working on it for like, I guess, probably the whole year, and it's almost wrapped up, man. It's probably gonna be like 8 or 9 tracks. It's got a real like trap vibe, and it's gonna be tight, man. I can't tell you when it's gonna be out though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you just released a record with Cam Meekins, The Road.
The Road, yeah. For his new project.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, man, The Road's cool. I didn't know he was gonna put it out as like a single or anything, but yeah, so that was a cool surprise when he told me like a couple days before. But yeah, man, we kind of went through a process with that, with changing up the drums, and it had a sample with the drum loop, so like that was a whole process to recreate that, and it took like a whole day for me. But yeah, man, I like that record a lot. Turned out tight.
It was awesome. You produced the beat for the 12 for 12 cypher at Emerson. Talk about that experience, because I bet that was awesome for you.
Yeah, it was cool, man. Tim asked me to do it, and I just kind of spent that day, cooking it up, and it wasn't anything like I already had. I just, I kind of got inspired. I like those 12 for 12 guys, so yeah, I just kind of put it together on the spot and sent it to Tim, and he was all about it. He just make it like 20 minutes long, so they could. So yeah, it was cool to be there though. They all killed it. I mean, I make beats a lot of different types of ways. Sometimes it'll just be all records and all samples, and I'll grab a bunch of records, and I like to take notes when I go through them, and just maybe like 3 or 4, and then get a bunch of sounds together and start some beats up, or add on old beats, or or bring out my keyboards and start playing synths and stuff, or it's usually a mix.
I thought that was cool how you did the index cards. You noted the little things that you liked about each track.
Yeah, man, I got to, because I go back to them so frequently.
Right.
For certain drum breaks or certain sounds, and so I gotta mark it. Yeah, man. I mean, I've really been getting into that just before I was DJing in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to think about, like, I know all the beats I've made, but I can't remember all the placements that I've had and songs you might not have heard. So I've really been getting into the trap beats the past couple of years.
Nice.
And more electronic kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we're on the topic of like big crowds of like what to play, Mac Miller performed at the Boston Urban Music Festival and played your record Get Up for a crowd of 40,000 plus people.
Yeah.
What does it feel like as a producer to see an artist like perform something you made for him live?
Yeah, I mean, in general, it's always great, and it's always a great feeling, but that one especially was, wow, man, that was wild. I have some cool pictures and videos from that day, man. There was a lot of fights that broke out. I don't know. It was absolutely wild. Boston was not prepared for that. Yeah, man. I mean, so that was crazy. Just being there. Like, I showed up with a couple of my homies, and we had like 2 or 3 blunts with us, and we just, we were just rolling up, man. It was fun.
Now, rumor has it when Mac was like really on the come up, he slept over at your place in Austin. First off, is that true?
That is not true.
Not true.
I came through. He did not say that.
Oh, okay.
That's so disappointing.
Oh, that just ruined the question.
Well, you guys want to know like what?
No, I want to know the story.
Yeah, what cereal did he eat in the morning?
Yeah, what's his midnight snack?
He likes Hennessy. I'll say that.
All right. But you guys hung out. You guys had him over.
That was fun. That was a cool weekend. That was when he did back-to-back shows in the Middle East, and we got to link up at the show Friday night, and then chilled at the hotel with him that night too. And then I invited over to the crib the next day. So him and his crew came through, and it's weird to think about now, because like, dude, it's literally like pretty much all the dudes that are on his show now.
Yeah.
It's like you see these dudes on like MTV, and like, yeah, all these dudes were in my living room and bedroom. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, they came through the next day, got some drinks, we were chilling, and we went down to my room and we played some beats, and that was a cool vibe out session for sure. That's also when we came up with the idea for the hook for Get Up. There wasn't a hook yet. It was just like the singing in the background, and he said, I think I might do Get Up tonight. At the show, because he was doing the Saturday show that night too, and And I was like, you know, we kind of were vibing together with it. And I was like, well, what if you did like a call and response, you know, get up kind of thing. And that's how that, you know, we tried it out and it kind of bombed. It was just kind of awkward. I mean, it's way different than the song is now. I have a very awkward video of it, but
that'll get leaked on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how that came about. I usually don't work with artists in the studio.
Right.
Like it's usually sending beats, you know, through emails and stuff. But you know, when I do get to work with artists in the studio, it's like the best feeling, man. It's really the way I prefer to work. So
you think the quality of music is better if you know you have that face to face?
Yeah, but some artists, honestly, I've worked with some artists. You know, sending beats online, and then we've tried to get in the studio, and it wasn't right.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So, yeah, sometimes it's best to kind of just do things the way we've been doing them. But, yeah, other times, man, to be in the studio, I really do prefer, you know, vibing out, and, you know, I like to be with an artist and build a beat with them.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of have them put their touch on it and make sure they like everything about it, and it, you know, just kind of make the track together.
Yeah.
You know, that process reminds me a lot of Cam Meekins and how he kind of likes to produce, how he likes things being organic and natural. I know that there was a rumored project low-key between you two. Is that still in the works?
Kinda. Cam's kind of, you know, going through a lot of stuff with his career and figuring out exactly what he wants to do. So, you know, we did have a tape in the works, and it's not necessarily done. You know, I mean, it's not necessarily not going to happen. We definitely have a lot of tracks that we started for it, and I would love to finish it, and I know that if Cam can find the time, we definitely will. But, like, you know, for instance, one of the tracks that we did start for it just got placed on a mixtape that you'll see coming out soon. So yeah, man, I mean, we'll see if the project happens, but we'll still be making music together regardless.
Very good. Hope it does.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I would just love to be, you know, in a place where I can work with whoever I want, and it's really about the quality of the music and putting out great music and just doing good things for this hip hop community.
Yeah, I feel like you have a good balance of, you know, doing the whole behind the scenes thing while also having a hand in the actual execution and like what, you know, the making of it.
Yeah. Try. Yeah, man. So yeah, I just want to keep working at it and just keep putting out good music. But, you know, be comfortable. I want this to be my life. I don't want to, you know, work a 9 to 5. This is it.
Well, let's talk about some upcoming projects you got. You want to just plug a couple things?
Yeah, sure. We got the Stew Cat joint, like I said. We're still kind of searching for a title, but we got a couple up in the air. And that should be out, I would say this year. Hopefully this year, definitely. Also, I just got some placements on the A3C mixtape.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The Cam track I was talking about is one of those, along with another Stew Cat track and a Ground Up track.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's it right now.
For right now, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, you know, going back to the past a little bit, you went up to New York to work with Hoodie Allen on a couple of records. What was that like? How was he like in the studio?
Oh, that was cool, man. I liked the studio he brought me to. I guess the Cataracts had like recorded there and stuff. Like Dev had been in there, yeah. And I liked the engineer he had. It was real cool. But that, I don't know, like the initial recording, the day we had the initial recording session, was dope. And like I had a good feeling about the track and everything. I still like the way it turned out. It's just that, you know, we had that session and then we were supposed to have one more like a couple days later, and Hoodie canceled. And then I had to go back to Boston. So we never really got to finish the track together. And then, you know, this whole thing started happening with him having other engineers and, you know, remixing the track again and again. And like, so I liked, you know, the first time we worked in the studio was dope. It was a good vibe. But then, you know, they kind of just took the track to a whole other place and like I wasn't really involved. Right. Which was just unfortunate, but you know, that's just the way things go sometimes.
Gotcha.
I've heard this. So you first started out using Garageband. I believe it was freshman year of high school.
Yeah, and I still do.
And you still do.
Yeah.
And you still do.
Yeah, man. The way I got started is we had this electronic music class in my freshman year of high school in Newton South, and I loved it so much, man. And I moved like towards the end of the year, and I asked my parents if I could, you know, have the same stuff we had in that class because I was enjoying it so much. So they got it for me, and they got me a MIDI keyboard, and you know I moved to Maine, and it sucked, and all I did was make beats before I made friends. So you know, and then the friends I did make were all hip hop heads, so that's all we did, man. And I came back junior year, back to Newton South, and kind of, you know, accomplished a little bit and, you know, got my skills up, and that's still all I did, and I just continued to do it, man, and started getting placements with local artists and, you know, across the country and down there.
Nice.
Much. But yeah, I still do use GarageBand. I guess I should say that when I started, you know, it was with like the loops and the sounds in GarageBand, and you know, besides like a bass sound I use, I don't use any of the sounds in GarageBand. It's all hardware, you know, my microKORG, Korg M3, and you know, my MPC and sampling stuff. So, you know, I don't use any of the noises in GarageBand pretty much.
Who have been your biggest influences in terms of producing?
Definitely Jay Dilla, Primo, Pete Rock. You know, I like MF Doom stuff. High Tech, dude. I could literally go on for days. It's like the worst question to ask. Thank you. Those are definitely like the top. I'd say the first three I mentioned are top three.
Now you were saying how you only took one class in college, and that was a Pro Tools class.
Yeah.
I just want to ask about the college question in general, because we had Era on one time, and we were asking them, you know, did you expect to go into music and yada yada yada. But for you, was it you just wanted to go into music like right out of high school, or did you think about college, or what did your parents think too?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was really complicated. Like, coming from Newton, like, you know, Newton South is one of the best high schools in the country, and everybody goes to college. Like, it's not even a question. And you know, there's all these kids taking these crazy honors classes, and like, meanwhile, I'm just like chilling, taking these curriculum 2 classes. Like, I was never big in school, man. So, you know, I was thinking about going. Like, I looked at Full Sail. I checked out Berkeley, kind of. You know, I was looking at a couple schools, and I was thinking about maybe, you know, really attending AI, but, you know, my heart wasn't really there. That was never really my thing. Even if it was a trade school for music, like, it's just taking something I love and making it school. So, you know, I just
mainstream kind of.
Yeah. So, you know, I definitely got a lot of judgments from like just Newton as a city, like parents, and, you know, they're like, "Oh, are you crazy? You're not going to school?" Like, I was one of 2 or 3 kids in my graduating class. I don't even remember. But maybe it's more than that. But still, you know, everybody went to school, and they're all asking me where I'm going to go. And, you know, by that time, I decided I'm not going. And they just kind of looked at me like I was crazy. So, you know, it was a lot of mixed responses. But my parents, you know, initially were trying to get me to go. But, you know, they ended up, you know, supporting me. They're like, you know, as long as you're happy and this is what you want to do, you know, we'll support you.
Well, now you're getting huge into the Boston hip hop scene, and as we talked about a little bit earlier, but like you've been working with Slain and and Cam Meekins. I mean, you're becoming a huge part of the Boston scene, so that must be pretty big to you.
It's cool, man. It's like people say that, and I don't even realize it, you know. But like thinking about where I was, you know, 4 or 5 years ago to where I am now. It is definitely crazy to think about. Like, I've worked with almost everyone I would like to in Boston, you know, and like especially like Esoteric. I got a placement on his record a couple years ago. The joint is called Enough of You, and Apathy hooked it up. And my brother who passed away, Micah, was super into 7L and Esoteric. So, you know, he would always, you know, buy the new record, and I would be with him in like Newbury Comics. He'd flip out, man. So like, you know, at that point when he was still alive, I wasn't anywhere, you know, that was like 7 or 8 years ago. So I hadn't really worked with anyone yet. So like, you know, to be working with Esoteric is like one of the craziest things for me. You know, we talk every now and then, and we're probably gonna have more records to come, but like, you know, still on top of that, you know, Acrobatic, you know, Cam Meekins, Ed O.G., Slain, all these dudes, like, it's crazy, man. It's you know, it's a blessing.
You're mixing the old with the new. That's pretty awesome.
I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think you're right. I think Boston definitely is coming up, and we're in, you know, a place with technology and everything right now where, you know, you can get noticed, you know, even being from Boston with you know, YouTube hits and blog exposure. So it's cool to see happening. It's cool to see these movements like 12 for 12 and everything like that, you know, doing well. So, you know, I feel like I have a good place in it. I've definitely worked with a lot of these up and coming guys and trying to, you know, just help out and make that possible and really put Boston on the map. So I think it's a beautiful thing for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
In a year, man. There's been a lot of talks about going out to LA. My girlfriend is graduating pharmacy school, and it would be about that time. This is her 6th year, and then she'll have graduated. So we would like, you know, to think about LA. There's a lot of people I know out in LA doing their thing, and, you know, I've heard a lot of mixed responses from that, you know, mixed reviews of, you know, what they think of LA and people trying it out, but I'd like to give it a try, you know. I hear that, you know, coming from New England, you can't make it in LA, or you can't make it in Cali, or that you just won't work for you.
So you'll be the first.
I would like, no, I wouldn't be the first.
Pioneer.
I just heard a lot of people, you know, that's their experience, but I would like to, you know, take the challenge on and make LA work, because I think it would be the right move, you know, for my career, and just, you know, a nice change. I've been in Boston pretty much my whole life, or New England, I guess, and you know, yeah, it would be cool to make that move. So
Got time to get some warm weather too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially with the winter creeping up, you know.
All right, man. Listen, thanks so much for coming on. Best of luck in the
Yeah,
future.
man, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And hopefully this Breaking Bad episode's awesome.
Yeah.